My sisters and brothers in Christ, we have finally come to that place, this new year, this Advent season, this transformation for all of us when I think everybody has that sense of putting God back in the center of their lives. The past couple of years have been a real challenge for us as a nation, as a people, and even as a parish. And we know that when Christmas time comes, Advent, we can kind of refocus and put God right at the center of our lives. But we don't rush through it, right? The blessing of our church is we have this 4-week pilgrimage known as Advent, and each week has a different theme and preparation for us to prepare our hearts and our minds, our homes for the coming of Jesus, the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. Again, we get caught up in the world with this rush, but for us as a people of faith, we slow down. You know, one of the great things about Advent is it's a season of preparation, but it's also a season of penitence. So, you know, I wear the purple, and we know that the purple comes in preparation for the King, but also that we recognize, even in our sinfulness, that it's a time to slow down, to reflect. Maybe it's been a while for us, for one reason or another, of coming back to church, getting back to confession, and really writing our journey in a greater relationship with the Lord. And that's the beauty over these next couple weeks. Don't get discouraged. Sometimes we come off with we're going to do the Advent calendar, we're going to do the prayers every night. You might miss a time or two, but just reset yourself. And I have a couple of suggestions for you, maybe just to think about as we enter into the beginning of this season. First and foremost, just make a little bit of time each day. Maybe for you, you got a nice little comfortable chair in the living room, you light a little candle, you bring out the scriptures, you have it on your phone, something like that. Maybe you have some of those awesome Advent books. I have a couple of suggestions right here. If you want, we have this book by Father Mark Toops called Rejoice. It's a 4-week journey, or that masculine heart. And so for some of you guys out there, you might want to pray that together. Or this is Behold by Sister Miriam Jane Heidland, a little more of the feminine heart. But what it does is it slows us down, maybe 5 or 10 minutes to read through some of these reflections, write a little bit of a journal. Father Joe, you talking about journaling here? Yes, this is that time to reset ourselves and really put Christ at the center of everything in preparation. No one did that better. Typical awesome woman of faith of Mary. We hear so much about that contemplation and that pondering of the Blessed Mother. Well, we use her as our model. We go into this time, again, a sense of penitence, like what needs to be adjusted for me, for my family, my relationship with my spouse and my kids, that kind of stuff. We slow down just a little bit in that sense, and we look at Mary, who always kind of had that sense of pondering, slowing down, and putting God at the center. So as we start this first week of Advent, we're in that sense of hopeful anticipation. We look forward certainly to seeing you at Mass, but when you leave here, what can you do to grow in that faith? Quiet time, prayer time, maybe reading one of these books, reading the scriptures, praying a decade of the rosary or the rosary. But this Advent season allows us to reset and restart in this new year for us liturgically, but this new time for us in a greater relationship with the Lord. Hopeful anticipation of the coming of Christ begins today. My prayers are with you. We look forward to seeing you here at Mass throughout the Advent season.